So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm thinking of whether or not I should become a doctor. It's kind of like more and more manifesting into a dream of mine. I know my mom wanted me to be one just because she thought that I had the capacity to do it, but I never felt that way. I can take this off because I really don't need it.
Yeah, but just keep it on for now.
Yeah. This is my lab coat, guys. It's not like a doctor's coat or anything like that. But anyways, hey, welcome back to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, I'm Avri and this is Simas, Manavera Simas, which is my husband in his language. And today we're going to be talking about the possibilities of where our lives might go.
In this case, your career.
My career.
We're not going to touch on mine this time at all.
You want to, we can talk about yours too.
Alright, yeah, I'll do
You want to talk about yours. Anyway, so if you follow this for a long time, you probably always hear me saying, oh, I'm studying, I gotta go study, I have to go to do this test, that exam, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna break down why I study so much and if I'll be studying more in the future. So without further ado, let's get into this video and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
And do not forget to give it a thumbs up, leave your comment if you have not subscribed already. Right, so it helps us guys when you guys leave us a thumbs up and leave your comments. It helps us continue with the growth of this channel.
Right, the more you like the videos, the further they go and the more people can see the videos, and this might be probably helpful to somebody else. So without further ado, like I said, let's get into the video and I'll explain the details behind it. So this is scrubs. Everybody probably knows what this is. If you work in healthcare or you have a friend, family, whatever that works in healthcare, you've seen this before. So basically, I've been doing an undergrad for 6 years. I know it's a while because technically you're supposed to finish in 4 years, but everybody works at their own pace. And the field of study that I'm in, I don't really think that it's the most easy one because Simas has seen my struggles, so.
I've been there, I've had this shoulder cried on, this shoulder snotted on. I've seen it. I've talked you off I don't know how many ledges and rooftops, and
the journey was rough. The journey is rough.
The journey is still going. The journey is still very expensive. It's very expensive, not just monetary, like in a monetary way, but also mentally.
Right.
And it's exhausting and it's tiring and it's taking a toll on our relationship. But it's worth it at the end of the day because you're almost done.
Yeah. So if you guys are wondering what the hell I'm studying and why it seems so hard, I am studying clinical lab sciences, which is basically a program that allows you to work in the lab when you are done with studying. So you probably have went to the hospital before. Most of you have. You've done a test. They take swabs from your mouth. They take a blood sample from you. They take a urine sample from you. You do drug testing for your job probably. All those samples go to a place where I'd be working.
So one more thing that I forgot to add is the fact that I study so hard because essentially we're the ones that are diagnosing the patient without actually diagnosing them, because you have to know exactly what you are looking for in a patient sample, like in that blood sample, in that urine sample that is causing the patient to be sick. So we look for that and then we say to the doctor, okay doctor, this is what's in the patient's blood, or this is what's in the patient's urine, or this is what's in the patient's deep wound that is causing them to feel so sick. And then the doctor will sign off on it and then write a prescription if he feels that this is right.
And I wanted to do a job like that because before I started YouTube, I was a shy person, and when I moved from Jamaica to the US, I had social anxiety. So I had to figure out a way how I could still make money and deal with my social anxiety, and being a lab rat was that way for me. And now that I'm on YouTube and I have you guys to talk to every now and then, I am so much more extroverted, so I'm wondering if this is even the path that I want to go down, but I'm almost at the finish line, so there's no point
No,
to
we're not
really
stopping.
turn back,
no,
right?
There's no turning back.
So basically, when my degree is like a generalist degree because I could work in any aspect of the lab, and in the lab you have immunology, you have the blood bank, which is where my rotation is currently at right now. I was in the microbiology portion of the lab before, where they were testing COVID samples. There's urine analysis, there's hematology, where they look for things like cancer.
Blood.
Blood is the blood bank, but also in hematology. Yeah. So they look for things like cancer, they look for chronic diseases that can affect, that may manifest in the blood. There is the chemistry part of the lab, does like a lot of analytes.
That's next, right?
No, I'm actually going to this thing called this session.
Yeah, but after that.
Right, then after that is chemistry. There is cell therapy, there's HLA, there's so many different parts of the lab, which is why I was interested in the program in the first place. So the program runs for 4 years. 2 years you're doing prerequisites, which means like basic stuff, and then the last 2 years you're actually in the program doing all those subjects that I talked about. So with my program, you have to have like a 2.5 or higher GPA to be okay. So for me, I exceeded that every single time. Right now my GPA is like 3.5 something, I can't remember. But yeah, so that's why I don't like when people try to tell me that I'm wrong, because I know that usually I'm not. No, let me stop. At the end of the 4 years, you think you're done studying, but you're not.
It might be the... You look so nice in your scrubbies.
I know, thank you. Yeah, so like I said, if you think after the 4 years you're done studying, you are absolutely not, because you have to study for at least another 3 months to take what is called a board exam, which is a certification exam for the degree that I have. Because you can have the degree, you can get a New York State license, but there's also a national license. So I have to do that, and then I'll be able to work in the lab. Now, I chose this job field because it was a safe option for me, as in they're so, the program, people that leave the program are such in like a very high demand, because like right when I'm done, I'm almost guaranteed to get a job, because not many people know of this program, and not many people join the program. So that's another reason why I chose it.
Well,
and
it's also very intense. Like, it's basically you're like a med student without the med degree.
Right, without the med degree. It's true. So being exposed to so much like of medical school, because technically it kind of is, but at the same time it kind of isn't. I was thinking maybe I should just go to med school when I'm done. But right now I'm 25, I can't remember my age, which is a problem. Right now I'm 25, so by the time I'm done, which will be like next year when my internships are done. Oh, and when the 4 years are done, you have to, when the 3 year and like some months are done, you have another 2 semesters of internship, depending on the program that you go to. So right now I'm in that internship phase. And as you see in our morning routine video, this guy walks me to the train every morning.
You don't have to rub my belly, because
Yes, I do, but
no.
Please don't fart, because I know when I rub my belly, you fart.
No, it's only happens sometimes.
It's only happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, like so cute. Anyways, what was I saying again?
I don't know, you rubbed my belly and you forgot.
Yeah, it's like
me walking you to the train.
Oh yeah, so he walks me to the train every morning, which I'm very thankful for. And the internship is quite an adjustment, but at the end of the day, the program is very worth it. But I've been thinking, should I just go to med school and suck it up? Because now I'm not such an introvert, and I have like some knowledge of what doctors do in a sense, but of course I don't know everything. But when I do go to my doctors, I can reason with them, and then they ask me, oh, are you in med school? And I'm like, no, I'm just a lab tech, But I don't know, I'm thinking I should, but then when you look at med school, it's 4 more years of my life that would be gone. And then I have to take physics, and you know I can't do math. For example, the dilution discussion.
Yeah. Physics was the only course that you had to take twice.
Yeah, I failed physics, guys. I got a D in physics the first time I took it, and I took it again and I got a B. So I still didn't really do my best, but...
No, you did your best, but you didn't do
my best wasn't good enough. But yeah, so every other course that I took in college was an A or a B. I've never gotten a C, and then physics was just a D. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm thinking of whether or not I should become a doctor. It's kind of like more and more manifesting into a dream of mine. I know my mom wanted me to be one just because she thought that I had the capacity to do it, but I never felt that way.
Well, your mom also goes around bragging that her daughter now works in the hospital, so
yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, look at my Avri, she's wearing a lab coat.
Right. And I'm sharing this story not to be, I don't know how people take it, boastful or bragful, but you guys see us do YouTube videos all the time, but we actually have another life outside of YouTube. So that's why I wanted to put it out there that when we're not releasing the videos or they're not coming as quickly as possible, we are very, very busy. And in fact, Simas is also very, very busy, and he'll take the stage and tell you guys what he does for a living. But before, I want to put the question out there. Do you guys think that I should become a doctor? But there is like a 2-year program that you could do to be a physician's assistant. I was thinking of doing that, but I don't know.
It's like semi there, and you'd still be thinking, I could have went all the way and been a doctor.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize my turn was coming so soon. So I already finished my bachelor's 5 years ago, and I was actually finishing it up when we first met. And I remember
oh yeah, this guy.
So I did my bachelor's in business management, and all I knew is this: I need to work a corporate job, and it has to be in the city. City meaning New York. And New Jersey was always like too small and not busy and not big enough for me. Even though like I went to school here in Jersey. I then started working at my current job that I'm still at. I actually got like promoted twice already.
Right.
And one of my stipulations to keep working there and to keep growing and to keep progressing was that I want my place of employment to help me out with school because I wanted to do a master's. And what I did is I actually ended up working for the fraud team, which I'm the manager of now.
Right. Goodness Simas!
Yeah, so I'm the fraud manager there, but it was, I earned it through working, but I also know that there's a lot more knowledge that could take me further. And I started doing a master's program in financial investigations. Well, it's financial crime investigations. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm taking my very, 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 very last course in a 10-course program.
Yeah.
So I'm doing, it's purely online school, COVID or not. I've always been doing it online because the school is in Connecticut and I'm really not trying to go all the way there if I don't have to.
Right.
The plan was for me to actually finish everything by August and graduate, but COVID came.
Right.
And neither one of us was going to school. But anyway, so when we say we're busy, like one of us like sits over there and studies and the other one sits over there and like does
and
work.
And we don't interact with each other.
And then we'll be like...
Until we're eating. Yeah, we wave to each other. But then when we're eating, we come and we sit and we're so hungry that we don't even talk to each other while eating. It's after the work is done and after the food is done, we go to bed and we debrief. Because that's the only time we really have together, so...
Yeah, so a little bit more about like what I do. It's a prepaid corporate expense card that gives an opportunity to businesses to spend money and account for everything that they're doing. And as anybody knows with finances, there is an opportunity for fraud. Card numbers get stolen, accounts get taken over, wire, ACH fraud, all that stuff is under my watch, right? So we always think of ways to limit it, to try to accept good spend while declining bad spend. Yeah, and like kind of like finding the right balance between customer happiness and also customer security.
Sorry,
What?
is that mic close? Can you just push it off so it's not in the field of the camera? Okay,
So,
thank you.
no problem. So, yeah, so when I first finished my bachelor's, I had no idea what I wanted to do, right? I was thinking like, oh, there's marketing. I might be interested in that. And then I took a marketing class. I'm like, no way, no way, no way, no way. I hated marketing. Accounting was never an option for me. And I'm like, management kind of takes over everything. You get a sample of a little bit of each thing. So when I did get the job, I started in customer service and figured out that fraud and finances are actually where I want to be. But not to study them, but study the actual fraud and
Yeah, the happenings.
yeah, the happenings of not actually like account for stuff. Yeah.
But one thing I must say is that since we've been together, I've seen Simas grow in so many different ways, and I'm sure he is the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing I want to say is education is a path that we chose because of where we came from. We were both immigrants, and for our parents, education was like the only way. Now, other people might be successful or got successful without education, which is great for you because you skipped that whole stress in your life. But for those people who had to take that route, you know that this is not easy, especially managing so many different things at the same time. So that's why we ask for time, you know, just to get our lives together so that when we have some kids, they'll be okay.
Yeah, because like our parents didn't get as much opportunity as us for various reasons. Your parents one thing, my parents another. Not going to talk about that at all today. But what we do know is that we have the opportunity, and it would be a shame for us to sit there and like play games while we could actually forward ourselves and create a safety net.
Right.
And continue growing.
Right. So, like I said, this is our path, you know. You might have gotten there some different way. Like we watched this guy, Graham. He did not even like go to college. After high school, he went into real estate. Now the guy's a millionaire. So a lot of millionaires too, they just skipped out high school altogether, but we didn't really have that option. In fact, I graduated high school twice. So
Story for another day too. Yeah.
So I don't know. This is just us, and it's just like a question that I'm putting out there. And like, do I even have the capacity to become a doctor? You know?
You know, your mom keeps telling you should, and then my dad's like, oh, you have one class to go. So when you start your PhD, then I'm like, whoa, PhD, hold up. I'm like, when you get your bachelor's, I get my PhD. We'll go together.
Why tell me that?
Yeah, so our parents, I know they're very proud of us, and they always try to support us. Like whenever you guys see our parents come, you don't see my parents as much because they're not, like they help as much.
Yeah.
But they don't really.
They don't like to be on camera.
Yeah, like the camera and stuff, they feel like it's like our thing. While your mom kind of took over and became the star sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a lot of help that we get from them, and we always appreciate, especially when it comes to food.
Right.
You guys, you don't understand. We are hungry.
Yeah.
Not because we're poor, and not because we're
lazy or anything.
Right, we just don't have the time. So when we have like ready-made meals in our fridge, it's like a big thanks to our parents for that. And we get a different variety of food. If I want like rice and peas.
Oh, there is pea soup in the fridge. Anyways, guys, I think we're gonna go because right now I'm starving and I just remembered that. So we'll catch you in another vlog. Let us know if you like this vlog. You can do it.
Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this one. Our story might not be similar to yours in any way, or you might be like sitting there like, oh my god, that's exactly what I've been going through. So we definitely want to hear your experiences and see what maybe we could learn from you guys as well. But let's just say that the journey has not been easy. It's been quite stressful, and quite a few tears have been shed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been tough.
It's been rough and tough.
Our entire relationship has been based around school and everything that has to do because of school, and then putting things off because we're going to school.
Yeah.
But we're like this close to the finish line.
Yeah. And hopefully next time we sit down to do a video like this, I'll be telling you that I got my degree and I passed my board certification license, and Simas got his master's now, and we could move on with our lives and probably start a family. because a lot of people have been asking for that. But anyways, I think that's it for the video. There's no need to stretch it out anymore.